Today we are learning about evaporation process. So first of all, as usual, we would see the definition of the concept. It is the transfer of it is the transfer of it is the transfer of liquid matter to gaseous matter at all temperatures. At all possible temperatures from the surface of the liquid. From the surface of the liquid. So here from the definition, two things I made you clear, that during evaporation there is a transfer of liquid matter. There is a transfer of liquid matter into gaseous matter, okay, and this is happening at all possible temperatures, and this takes place exclusively from the surface of the liquid. This is the transfer of liquid matter to gaseous matter, okay. Now let us see how the evaporation takes place and why it takes place. Basically, the major difference between the vaporization process and evaporation process is that evaporation process takes place only at the surface and there is no any particular temperature for this, but in case of vaporization process it takes place throughout the liquid and there is a fixed temperature for this depending on the substance, okay. So we will see later the distinguishing points between evaporation and vaporization. Now this happens, why this happens, we would try to explain on the basis of kinetic theory of matter, or you can say molecular model also. So for this, we are as usual understanding the process through animation. Now what I shown here, I have shown here a liquid taken in a glass beaker and 4 representing molecules A, B, C, D, how they are wandering here and there within the liquid, you see, because on the basis of kinetic theory of matter we learned that inside the liquid the molecules are wandering here and there within the liquid, okay. Now what happens during this journey, they collides with each other. Just you can observe that whenever they collide with each other, maybe one's kinetic energy is transferred to the other molecule, and if this molecule is near to the surface and it has got sufficient kinetic energy to overcome the intermolecular force of attraction, immediately it goes in the surrounding in the form of gaseous molecule. Because it is going in the surrounding, we call it as a gas in the form of vapors. In this way the evaporation process takes place. So I have explained you the evaporation process on the basis of kinetic theory of matter, or you can call it as a molecular model also. So what happens, see very carefully how it happens. Only 4 representative molecules I have shown. Whenever the molecule collides with the molecule near to the surface of the liquid and the molecule gets sufficient kinetic energy through this collision, it immediately overcomes the intermolecular attraction and goes into the surrounding. So obviously what is the requirement of the vaporizing molecule or evaporating molecule, I would call it more correctly as evaporating molecule. The requirement is it needs more kinetic energy to overcome the intermolecular attraction. Okay. So, obviously in this process it takes some thermal energy from the surrounding or itself liquid also, it takes some thermal energy from the liquid also, and that is why during evaporation we can say that the liquid's temperature decreases. So, we would explain the evaporation process in return in words on the basis of kinetic theory of matter. Okay. So, you have seen this, I hope, and you understood the concept better. So, explanation. On the basis of kinetic theory of matter. So, the explanation can be written as we know the liquid molecules are moving anywhere within the liquid, with considerable velocities due to kinetic energy. Okay. So, considerable velocities when they collide among themselves, one molecule can gain the energy while other can lose. One molecule can gain Ke at the expense of others, when the molecule near the surface gains such an excess Ke, it could overcome the intermolecular attraction within the liquid and goes in the surrounding by leaving the liquid surface. by leaving the liquid surface, and we call it as evaporation. So this I have explained, and why there is cooling of liquid during evaporation. Why there is cooling of liquid during evaporation, that also we would see, we have already discussed. So during evaporation, the liquid molecule going out from the liquid gains Ke at the expense of Ke of other liquid molecules, Ke of other liquid molecules. Other liquid molecules, that means taking away the thermal energy from the liquid. And hence liquid cools due to evaporation process. So let us discuss what I told you in this paragraph. So during the evaporation process, we can see that one molecule of liquid loses its kinetic energy and other gains, and if this gained kinetic energy is sufficient to overcome the intermolecular attraction within the liquid, then the gained kinetic energy molecule would leave the liquid surface and go into the surrounding. But as I told you that whenever we have studied the kinetic theory of matter or the change of state, then I told you forever that whenever we supply heat energy, the kinetic energy increases, and whenever we take out the heat energy, kinetic energy decreases. That means there is a direct relationship between the temperature of matter and the kinetic energy of the molecule. So here you see that during evaporation process, the liquid molecule is gaining the kinetic energy from the liquid itself and then leaving the liquid surface. That means indirectly we can say that the leaving liquid molecule earns thermal energy in the form of kinetic energy, and hence decreases the thermal energy content of the liquid, and that's why during evaporation process the liquid cools. So I have explained you that during evaporation process why the liquid cools, as well as we have studied on the basis of kinetic theory of matter that how evaporation takes place. Now we would learn regarding to the factors affecting the process of evaporation. Let us see which are the factors affecting the evaporation process. So the very first factor is the temperature of liquid. So I would write here factors affecting the evaporation. Factors affecting the evaporation. So number one is temperature of liquid. So evaporation rate is higher if the temperature of liquid is high. evaporation rate. How could I define evaporation rate? The amount of liquid evaporated per unit time. I would call it as evaporation rate is higher the evaporation rate is higher if temperature is higher. As I told you that there is a direct connection between the kinetic energy of molecule and the temperature itself. That's why if higher temperature is there in the surrounding, it would help to increase the kinetic energy of the liquid molecule, and immediately it could leave the liquid surface, and that's why the rate of evaporation would increase if the temperature of liquid is more. Okay. Then number 2, second factor is the area of the liquid surface. The exposed area of liquid surface. More is the exposed area, more is the exposed liquid surface area, more is the rate of evaporation. Okay, more is the liquid surface area, more is the rate of evaporation. You can see. Okay, because this is naturally, because if more surface area is available, then indirectly we can say that more and more liquid molecules are themselves lying on the surface, and that's why they need a little energy which they can earn from the other liquid molecules inside the liquid, and immediately can leave the liquid surface. That's why we can say that the rate of evaporation is more if the liquid surface area exposed is more. Okay. Then the third factor is the nature of the liquid. The nature of liquid. Now see, what is the nature of liquid? Actually, the nature of liquid means the characteristics of the molecules themselves. That means the kinetic energy possessed by them. We can see that the intermolecular space between them. We can't say that every liquid molecule has the same intermolecular space within the liquid. Never. It depends upon the types of the liquid you are handling. Certain liquids we say that they are volatile liquid. Okay, the certain liquids we say that they are the volatile liquid. Which kinds of liquid we call volatile liquid? The liquids whose boiling point is lesser. Okay, that means low boiling point liquids are called as volatile liquids. And I can say that in these kinds of liquids, the intermolecular space must be greater than those liquids which has higher boiling points. So already the intermolecular space might be greater, that's why the intermolecular attraction is at a low level, and that's why a little kinetic energy might help these kinds of liquid molecules to immediately go in the surrounding in form of gases. And that's why we say that the nature of liquid can increase the rate of evaporation as well as can decrease the rate of evaporation. If more boiling point liquids you take, then obviously the rate of evaporation would be lesser. Okay, so for example, if we compare the rate of evaporation of alcohol, petroleum with water, then obviously the alcohol, petroleum, that means the gasoline, we call it correctly, that gasoline, the alcohol would have more rate of evaporation than the water. Okay, that's why they are called as volatile liquid. So I am writing here that volatile liquids So what are the volatile liquids? Liquids having less boiling points. We call them as volatile liquids. Readily evaporate, and therefore the rate of evaporation would be more in them. Okay. Then the next factor is the flow of air, the flow of free air over the surface of the liquid. Next factor is flow of free air near the surface. What I can say, more is the flow of air, more is the flow of free air, more is the flow of free air, more would be the rate of evaporation. This I can explain you like this. The free air obviously gives the kinetic energy to the molecules which has left the liquid surface and takes them away. Okay, this prevents the saturation of the vapors within a small space, and that's why more and more liquid molecules can come into the surrounding. As the liquid molecule saturation, that means the concentration of liquid molecule near the liquid surface is already less because the air took away them, and that's why more and more liquid molecule can come into the surrounding. In this manner, flow of free air increases the rate of evaporation. This we can take an experience that if a wet cloth is dried in free air, that means on the terrace, then they would immediately get dried, okay, due to the increased rate of evaporation. Drying of cloth is an example of evaporation, popular example of evaporation. Okay, then water coolers you are using in your households, they are also works on the principle of evaporation, because in the water coolers also the liquid, that is water, evaporates at higher rates due to the free air availability of the fan, cooler fan, and that's why the temperature of the liquid, that is water, inside the cooler decreases rapidly and gives us some coolness. Okay, that also requires a flow of free air. You can see that if you are using the water cooler in a sealed room, that means no ventilation room, then you could not feel the coolness. Why? Because continuously the evaporated water vapor concentration is increasing, and this makes the atmosphere humid, and that's why you could not feel the sufficient coolness. So in this manner we learnt about the dependence of rate of evaporation on the flow of free air near the surface of the water. And the next factor is the presence of moisture of humidity. As I told you that more is the humidity, okay, that means the presence of vapors already, okay, then less is the rate of evaporation, as just we have discussed. Less is the rate of evaporation. So in this manner we have learnt about the factors affecting the evaporation process. Now let us distinguish between the evaporation and vaporization. Okay, So let us distinguish it. So I would write here evaporation, and vaporization. Here I would write vaporization. So we are learning about now vaporization. So we want to see the difference between them. Okay, the difference between them. First point is takes place at any temperature. Here you need a fixed temperature. Okay, here you need a fixed temperature. Sorry. Okay, takes place at any temperature. So here you need a fixed temperature. A fixed temperature is required. A fixed temperature is required. Then it is a surface phenomena. That means it occurs at the surface of liquid only. Here we would write it takes place throughout the liquid. It takes place throughout the liquid. Okay, then here we would write it is a very slow process. It is a very slow process. Okay, and here we would write it is a faster process. So it is a faster process. Then evaporation creates cooling effect, as we have seen. Cooling effect. higher temperature at boiling point it occurs only. Is necessary. Higher temperature is necessary, so it could not produce cooling effect, vaporization. Okay, and what is the similarity in both? In both the cases, the liquid is changing into the gaseous. Okay, then if we study the reverse process of this, then for vaporization I would say that condensation we have already seen. Condensation also takes place at a fixed point called as condensation point of the liquid. So, and remember that the boiling point of liquid and condensation point of liquid are exactly same. Okay, but in case of evaporation, just like evaporation, there is another process in which the cooling or the conversion of gas to liquid takes place at any temperature. Okay, sorry, at other temperature than the boiling point, sorry I would say, and this is called as dew point. So, what is dew point? We would learn about the dew point, just like we learnt about the condensation process. We would learn here what is a dew point. Let us see what is a dew point. Okay. During winter season, you might have seen that in the coolness of the early morning, there are some water droplets deposited on the leaves of some small bushes, etc. We call them as a dew. Okay, now how this happens? Okay, and why this happens? Let us see. So, a dew point would say it is a low temperature. There is no particular value of this. It is a low temperature at which the liquid vapors are converted in liquid. Okay, now see, I told you condensation point and boiling points are equal. That means the condensation point is quite higher than the dew point. Okay, so then what happens in this process exactly? In this process, due to decrease in temperature, the air get saturated for water vapors. Okay, for water vapors, and hence the excess of vapors is deposited as liquid, and this we call as dew point. Okay, sorry, dew. This we call this as dewdrops. So in this manner we have studied today what is meant by evaporation and what is the exact difference between evaporation process and vaporizing process. Okay, in the next lecture we are studying about the last point in this chapter, that is sublimation process. Okay, in this manner we have completed the first chapter of 8th standard ICSE syllabus, that is matter, but this chapter is quite helpful for other disciplines, other boards also, because the information and process never changes. How whatever be your syllabus, the process of change of state etc. are remaining common. So anybody can refer these lectures. Thank you for listening me. Okay.